when I reach the kata stage. I just wanted to say a few words of welcome. I won't go on very long because I know I'm not the main event. My name's Alison. I'm the current chair of trustees. We just wanted to welcome you really warmly to Jamyang tonight. This is a fabulous occasion. We are so happy to see so many people here. As some of you may or may not know, it's our 40th anniversary as a centre next month. So this is a fabulous start to our 40th anniversary celebrations. And Khandrola is an unbelievable addition to the kinds of teachers who have taught here over the years. His Holiness Dalai Lama, Zopa Rinpoche, where do I start? Geshe Sopa, Lama Zopa Rinpoche, of course. Chongla Rata Rinpoche, Lama Yeshe, of course, Osel, so many different teachers, and now we have Khandrola as well. It is quite extraordinary that she's here today because she was actually making a private visit to London, and she told us earlier that she was keeping it private, but somehow Lama Zopa Rinpoche heard about it. And he said, well, if you are coming to London, please visit Jamyang London. And she then said to us, well, I'd like to keep it very small. She said, I don't want to encourage people to travel great distances and then disappoint them. Well, I know there's people who've travelled from across Europe to be here this evening. So, and I said to her, and she said, people spending all that money and their time to come to something that isn't worthwhile. And I said, we spend so much money and time doing many things that aren't worthwhile. So we obviously all feel the same way tonight. Just to mention a couple of practical things, I think you can see where the fire exits are, and you know, we will just all run for it if something happens, but we're confident they wouldn't, and assemble across the road. There are ways to sign up outside. If you are interested in having photographs of this event, we would also be following up about being on our mailing list and things like that. We would love you all to join our mailing list. We've got very exciting things happening at the moment. As some of you may know, we lost our beloved Geshe Tashi earlier this year, who was the successor previously to Geshe Wangchen, another amazing Geshe. But we are pretty confident at this point that we will have a third amazing Geshe join us next year. So we'll be sharing news of that quite soon, we hope. Can't be definite yet. And all kinds of exciting Dharma and community plans. So please do stay in touch with us. If you're hungry, some of you may have already found this, we've just hosted 8 Nungne, which ended this morning, which is one reason we couldn't welcome you into the building earlier in the day. And there are offerings from the Nungne out in cafes, so there's enormous blessing in tasting those. And I hope you have a wonderful evening. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Any chance of the teaching tonight being recorded and put on the website?
It's being live streamed.
I know, but can it stay on the website?
I understand it. Kaska, do you want to say? It will.
That's good to know. That'd be very good. If actually on the Jamyang, if you let them know that they can, because
yes.
a lot of people can't see it right now because they have other obligations.
Absolutely.
If they know they can see it later,
absolutely. Yes. It will be on the Meridian website, and we will make it clear to people who contact the Jamyang website that they can see it through the Meridian website, and through Facebook and everything else. I mean, I think. So I hope you all have a wonderful evening. Thank you for coming, and please stay in touch with us.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes. Just go away.
Not to frustrate. That is not necessary.
Thank you. 아, 지. 다 콘서 됐으면은.
You can sit in front up here.
Yeah,
People are standing in the back.
정말로 다시 들래?
Hello, everyone.
아니 가서 다 들고 rolling 해야 돼. That's simple 장보 체 rolling better.
Yes. So it seems that today the topic of the talk is how to develop a kind heart.
So 다 될 때서 당미도 아니 맨 란데니서 건다 주게.
So it seems that we're all packed here, and so I want to apologize, especially to those who are standing in the back.
네. 내가 저 rolling 최 rolling 지단계 가져오러 다시 상마게 그로 넘버 더보니 편지체나 아니 뒤져 졸라면 그지 네 여보용으로.
So since this talk is about the Dharma, it is very important to remember to cultivate the proper motivation to listen to this talk. And so in this way, this activity will not be a waste of time.
아니 나서 단 거쪽으로.
So let's start.
당가서 세버 장보 라야단 다지 저저디베 자치무지레바스.
So since we decided on the topic of kindness, let's first take a minute to realize that kindness, this very topic of kindness, is something very valuable.
아니 가서 도구 통문 듯이 파마다 파면 듯이 안에 아니 주게인스.
So I will address you now by considering all of you like my friends or my family, my parents.
가서 선을 찍는 선을 땅와이나 가서 점블링데 가서 강바라오지. 뒤는 옆에지 샘진 정말로 빈자 나신지 대화 뭐지 또 그땀 뭐지 있나네 그래서 오늘 전에 보면 빈정 오늘 차도로 왔어 오늘 섬다나.
So from one perspective, we all live on the same planet, and so this planet is like a household that we share. And so from this point of view, we're all like brothers and sisters, part of the same big family. And if we actually think about it properly, we can realize that we're all interconnected in so many different ways, with the food we eat, the clothes we wear, the reputation we have, and so on and so forth. We're all very much interconnected.
세상 가서 지 출국라 에바메와 미릭라 에바메와 토니 아니 가서 정말로 동해 만들어 대반되어 찍바 동해 만들어 찍바 인병안에 아니 찍찍라 아니 지 파츠 돌링제네 셈바장보야제 땅야당 셈바장보라야디 준제데 아니 지 대화 인바 인자네 서로가 대화 라야디 인바 인자네 안 디가라 돌링제네 파츠 지 독지제데 아니 지 수수 정말로 짜침부 쉬우지래 ting도.
So by taking into consideration that we are all the same, so without making any distinction in terms of race, in terms of religion, in terms of social background and so on, we're all the same in that we all want to be happy and we don't want to suffer. And so let's engage in this, let's say, conversation about kindness and how to develop kindness with this in mind, by realizing also that the result of kindness is happiness, is a feeling of bliss and joy and happiness. So this is going to be the idea for this talk and this gathering tonight.
가서 대wan 되바다 동해 만들어 라야디 고지 제바 잡조서라다 직직숙소 요게지 말아 가서 서로의 가사주 들어왔어.
So the fact that we all want to be happy and that we don't want to suffer is not something that was imposed on us by the law or some kind of authority. It's something that we innately all feel and have a natural right to.
랑진이 가서 주케 렌난다 말렌난다 제왕암지케 렌난다 말렌난다 아니 그 디니지데 요레스 랑진이 대두기 니지데.
So whether we accept the law of cause and effect, what we call karma, or whether we accept reincarnation or not, naturally, innately, we all want to be happy and not to suffer.
다 대두글에 대해라 남자 마부지당 아니지 마부시우지 니지도 왔어.
So when we talk about suffering and happiness, actually we have to understand it in many, there are so many different presentations, so much depth in these topics, so many levels.
대 마부지기 니지 요바 남진지 자친부 마부지 시야이 아니 탑 준단디 미 땡주 디 땡네마도 튼로 진다기 남주 자친부 지도 말봐.
So since it is a very vast and deep presentation, then to be the capacity, the ability to comprehend it and to investigate it and to analyze it is only present in us human being. For example, animals cannot really penetrate the deeper meaning of happiness and suffering.
당가서 셈바 장보 몰람제고래 라야데 다 잠을링 상마지 드바다 몰람제데 자진 상마이 제데 그러봐.
So we might say, well, we have to pray to become kinder, to have more kindness. And this is everywhere in the world. Everybody has the wish and the aspiration and the innate prayer to be kinder.
강달 아니 지 롭종지 내당 망보지 주제이 내당 망보지 동해 만들어 인장 동해 세탑 대화 되어 인장 아니 대화 주탑이 탑이 체들라 가서 롭종다 아니 시 망보지 잠을링들라 여대버와.
So because of so many different reasons for which we strive to find happiness and avoid suffering, we try to find many different solutions, many different methods to avoid suffering and to find happiness. Among all these different methods that we can see around in the world are, for example, all the different types of education and training that we can undergo.
이 상말로와 아니 지 마음발라 동해 마용은 치들라 simba zangbo da za chimbo yong chi de khona ra de lob jong ra yin bi ke sharwa.
So actually, if we look at it, then we can see that all these things that we do, such as undergoing an education and working and all these things, we all do it with the idea that through this, thanks to this, in the future, we will find more happiness, we will find more well-being, and we will find more kindness in our world.
Nga so lob jong mang bu zi ge ne si za chimbo zi yo ba yin na yang lob jong la de ne dong mang bu zi so de ni dong mang bu zi chung de ni zi ko cha yong do.
But still, we can notice that even though we might have the a very high education, still we will face many sufferings, and even our high education might even create hardships and problems.
Yang lob jong ne zi le de ne ane ji dewa mang bu ji ne ga da thar du dewa mang bu ji yang zu jun che ne ni ji nyang dewa zi ro.
And also from another side, through education, we will find different types of well-being or happiness.
제 잔다 창막이 남 준도 되라 몸보 롭존시라 먹어 봐. 아니 추이지 니승안에 조부주부 나지 삼노 장부 거기도 아니지 똑바 거기도 믹스해진가 거기도 전혀 뭐부지 차디기도.
So all the time, continuously, we see that then we have this feeling that, oh, we want the best, and we want it fast, and we don't want to have to work too hard or study too hard to get it. And so we want to become kinder and better. We want to achieve realizations very quickly without having to undergo so many hardships.
롭존 니스 뭐부지 다지 동네 일이 빼라지는 가서 류소르 단 심소르니 지 땡땡 바 임바 흥직라 류소르지 동행지다 심소르지 동행지 근데 얘와 자주 뭐 쉬우지네 대해서.
So we can also see that in terms of suffering, we can understand that there are two types. There is the physical suffering and the mental suffering. And even though these two might be very much related to each other, still they are very different.
자물링 매 마한체기 롭종체네 아니 대화 주단디 친구보 야지 코나 여바이나 대화 용수보 여바당 아니지 또 그 담년자 덴지지기 아니 부숨 속바지 점송이나 아니 대지 용수속바지 용거래 체네 베르 뭐부터 다다봐도 되라 잡들어왔어.
So most people in the world undergo their education and their work, etc., by motivated by the idea that material progress and material conditions are able to provide them with full happiness and well-being, meaning that we think that if we manage to gather all the best food and clothing and the best reputation, fame, wealth, etc., that once we get all that, then we will definitely be fully happy.
초직니 때나데 덴바요레스 아닌지 가서 류 텔라 때네 가서 튼제 망부지 고그래 아니 텔라 때네 튼제 텔라 때네 자와 망부지 조부 고그래 뉴부 고그래 장부 고그래 디저이 차네 오늘 야고 차 망부지 야고 열어봐.
So from one side, of course, this is true. If we gather many physical, material possessions and things, etc., we can, we are able to implement activities quicker. We can use the best things, and we have all the favorable conditions, which are on the physical, material level. All these things are very nice.
이나양 녀크라 쉬우지다 드라마시와 쉬우 체니지 차기도.
But in the same time, this brings so much inauspiciousness and problems and hardships.
다디 가르치 차브레.
So then, why is that?
데라 가서 최니승한 시바이나 시비 분조 쓰라기도.
So from the Dharma perspective, Buddhist perspective, we call all these the excellences of samsara.
시비 분조 대사 아침부터래. 고그래. 그거만.
All these things, the excellencies of samsara, are very precious, very useful, and we do need them.
이나 야시베 핀조 라야디 아니고 이치에지당 자치슈직 차요 말에.
But we should not trust them, and they are not the most precious things that we can find.
가이세나 디 주르랑신지당 도게랑신지 임바 인자 좀전 될 때네 될 그 독선치야당 아니지 의니 주시야 돼 키치무 쇼차고로 와.
So because they're in the nature of change and in the nature of suffering, we have to pay attention to that and know what they truly are. And so we can refrain.
다낭 셈이 남자
So then when it comes to the mind,
디 동엔데 메와 조토바이나
so if from the perspective of the mind we can get rid of suffering,
동엔 용수 조부 메와 조토브레스
then we are truly able to completely get rid of all the sufferings.
베라즈나 리 토슈지기 리 제른자와이나 리 충중 졸라마 통드레만도 리 충중 거는 무슨 잘고 그 말에
Yeah, good.
리 통보지 거는 로와이나 아니 리 충중 되서 그 졸라 통그러와 레레 건 자고 말와 셀라
So, for example, if you climb on the highest mountain, you can see all the other smaller mountains. You don't need to climb all the other smaller mountains to actually see them.
다 셈이 남자来저러와
So, what we call the presentation of the mind.
다 가서 류조기 대화다 동의 마무지 자와지에 되는 용수 조바 셈이 남자의 띵네 저대 그래
Actually, many of the activities and sensations of pleasure and pain that we experience physically actually depend on our mental state.
낭 셈이 남자来돼 띵사보다 자친부 쉬지 내가 로얀도와
So from the perspective of the mind, we can go very deep in our understanding of the mind. It's a very deep and very vast topic.
가서 지 시럽 베르즈네 미시에게 렙나 탭 공유를 봐 티비티 공 내나
Yes.
르나 리공 통기도와 아니 딘 통원낭지에 딜레 하즈 셈디기 통단디 아니 베데 지 미기 통야디 미시에 통야디 할리비지 중중지 셈이 통야디 베 띵진부 자친부 베 주용소 캡 덤년지기 시럽 자친부지 표시 당연도와
So we have to find a way to use our innate wisdom. To give an example, let's take the example of our eye consciousness. Our eye consciousness, we can block it just with our thumb, yeah, which is quite small. But when we open our eye, our sight can encompass huge mountains and huge landscapes. But the mind is even so much greater than that. In comparison to the mental consciousness, the eye consciousness is actually very tiny. And if we use our mental consciousness properly and can tap into the wisdom that we have in our mental consciousness, we can see it can encompass everything, every single phenomenon in all directions.
대 인자는 셈이 드롤링 대야 셈 장부지 니수시용도 셈 장부지 주제 망보지 마치와이나 셈 장부 되바낭지지 니 셈라 문주라 용토구면도 디 주진되고 지 되바낭지 마용원데 고 주진 당겨 말해.
So then here now we are talking mainly about how to cultivate a kind heart. So in order to cultivate a kind heart, we need to manage to gather all the favorable conditions and factors that are nourishing the kind heart. If we do not manage to cultivate kindness in the way that we wish to cultivate kindness, so our wish for kindness and our actual implementation do not, work together, it's a mere wish, then that is a sign that we haven't gathered all the causes and conditions and positive factors that will nourish kindness in ourselves.
자베 셈이 셈 장보줘야 되라 남자 그 자체를 당 띵정력이 니지 망보지도와
Actually, when it comes to kindness, we can go very deep into many details. The presentation can be taken to a very deep and a very vast.
Perezen nga zo zambule yongra misi chowa jidang ta junala ani ji sim zangbo ningji che la dutena ji ningji che sa yudu zo mi jo am wangbo ma sam anji dogu phungde zam dinje ji mishi churla ngomba zam jigla ningji che de ji jowo jigla ningji che de ya ma do perezen ji juchenbo yowa dene tamnyenda zoro jidang jigden tamnyenda zoro dinjela ningji chegimen do.
So the worldly understanding of kindness and love and compassion would be, for example, when we think of compassion, we think the general understanding of compassion would be, oh, you feel some kind of pity of compassion towards those very poor people that you might see, or very vulnerable people, people who are not finding food or suffering from lack of finances, etc. So this, and towards those people, we feel some kind of compassion or pity, which is actually a compassion that is merely, these are things that we can see only with our sight consciousness. With our eyes, we can see these vulnerable people or sick people, for example. But towards rich people, famous people, wealthy people, we do not have compassion.
세상 그 수수 삼는데 오 nga mila ne jigime simba zambu chege 아니 대잠지 고 닝지 짜짜심이 되기도.
So most people feel, well, I'm not harming anyone, I'm trying to love everybody, so I don't harm anyone, and so I'm a kind person, I'm compassionate.
어디 짜침봉은 이러와.
So of course this compassion, this kindness, it is precious.
이나양 디닝제데 체진이야.
But this compassion is very limited.
고 동해당 강에 문주러질 레바이나 디 각도 그레스.
When some obvious big problem comes up, some hardship comes up, the compassion is gone.
당가솔 닝지 한데스 고고래.
So what kind of compassion should we strive to achieve?
당가주 심데 자치부지 고고래.
We need to cultivate a vast mental attitude.
심데 가주 자신보 요바이나.
The more our mind is vast,
대조이게 안에 심데 장보용 그래.
the more our mind will become honest and truthful.
장보 가주 용와이나 장보용 그래.
The more honest and truthful our mind is, the more kind we will become.
다 자친보라야디 내가 침보 쉬우지래도.
So then what is really important is to understand how to make our mind vaster.
지당 지나게 아니지 응을보지 응을니주 가리나 주단지 이제 주진라 뜨니 시샤 장에 요니주 몸부지 친구도.
So we have to start by understanding that from a general perspective, even material things, physical things, depend on causes and conditions, and through different causes and conditions coming together, we talk of something positive or something negative.
난 개체주디 sem 자친보라야디 아니 주치 지난게 주진 가르지이나 디지 랑진디 하고야 낭이 셈이는 셈이 랑진 하고야 맞죠 동행되고 말이 대반되고 동행 만들어봐다 대반되니 셈데 가르쳐요래 디고 가르쳐요래 디 나마 가르쳐요래 디입 가르쳐요래 같이 진짜 민둥나 맞죠 자와 가르쳐 제거요래 자와 제대로 서로 대도 가르쳐 내고요래 다 치지 아니 군접지 최대도 참말로 대화다 동행 라야디 용수 쪽을 줘다 진 튜빙하니 주다 진 튜빙하니 니중하니 아니 가솔란 지부지 레고 버렸어 튜빙하니 낭 서로발에 디둑지 레고 버렸어 대인자는 가서 지 최러부지 제바이나 최 니중하니 셰바이나 되는지 튜빙하니 아니 가서 이게 동행된 용준 줘야 동행된 용주 따야라 동행 멋이 거 같지 대화이지 연된데 아니지 마음으로 땅대도나 대비 주다 그래 쨍 그래 주진 최단 그래 문주로 그래 꼭주로 그래 대주들라 be jipsher chene su yin gendi chen rangi tetuk lang gendi ani semje yos do bi tetuk rang nang ji semje changmal wa jikpa yin zang jik chung ni le chung ane semje yi tetuk lang gendi di kechen bo do.
So, in order to cultivate a vast mind, we need to understand how to gather the causes and conditions, just like for physical, material things. And then through gathering these positive causes and conditions, then we can actually implement our actions through this vast mind. So we have to analyze. If we want happiness and we want to get rid of suffering, what is the mind that wants happiness and does not want to suffer? What is the nature of this mind that does not want to suffer and wants to be happy? What is the activity of the mind? So we have to try to understand the nature of the mind, just as we should understand the nature of the cause and conditions that will give rise to suffering and happiness. So if when we analyze the mind, then if we do not find, when we try to analyze its nature, its aspect, its activity, its shape, for example, and we do not find anything tangible, then we have to wonder, what is still that we do all kinds of activities and this mind actually functions and we have all kinds of feelings and sensations. So how does it work? How does it exist? In the same way that outer phenomena function and arise through causes and conditions, concordant causes and conditions, and so they give rise to different types of results in concordance with their nature. In the same way, inside, in the inner world of emotions and sensations, happiness and suffering also arise through concordant causes and conditions. Therefore, when we try to take a more religious or Buddhist approach, we understand the concordant causes and conditions that will give rise to suffering and those that will give rise to happiness. So if our spiritual endeavor is to get rid of suffering, then we have to recognize what is suffering, the nature of suffering, and the nature of the causes of suffering. In the same way, if we want to be happy, to have more happiness in our lives, then we have to look for the different concordant causes and conditions that create happiness and have to find ways and methods to gather them. We have to analyze them very deeply, trying to see what are the causes and conditions that bring happiness, what are the obvious ones, what are the hidden qualities or maybe not so manifest causes and conditions of happiness. If we analyze in this way and understand the nature and the function of happiness and suffering, then we take responsibility for ourselves, for our own lives. And then from taking responsibility for ourselves, we also will wish to take responsibility for all other sentient beings because of realizing how we are exactly the same. This is very important.
Chezang ngazu chukele na malena ngazu mi rangjin la nam jundne ani ji tawa joba midi tawa midi joba la ya ji yorwas koran la yorida mis sulera jinna yungruwa.
So whether we accept a religion or not, or whether we are Buddhist or not, as human beings, we all have a certain view, a certain outlook on life, and a certain conduct or behavior. Anybody has that, whether they say it or not, but we all have a certain view and certain conduct.
Sanji jomden deji dinima labsa ma sungyu du chue teung ni denala ani ngazo rangjin ji tawa chinjilo de da joba chinjilo de di ngo zhe ne tawa chinji ma lo da joba chinji ma lo zi yi shiti zhubdang zi ngo zhe nang do.
So when the Buddha Shakyamuni first taught the Dharma, he explained our mistaken view and mistaken conduct that we tend to have innately, naturally. And he showed us how they are mistaken, and then he showed us the unmistaken view and conduct that will help us find peace and happiness.
강다른 가서 심 장보매와 장보매와 존인데 수레.
So in any case, what is that agent, that factor that makes us lack in kindness and honesty?
가서 마치에게 치니 젠지기 치직 재성 전에 파주암 야면은 미치라버지 야면은 지 진다지기 재성 전야지 삼노지기 슉네 아니 수수 가오가장 덴바 된장 로지 마부지 틴데 진디그와.
So for most of us, we will point to outside or something else, prevent us to be kind or create this and that inauspicious condition. We think it's never us. It's always some kind of obstacle or someone else or this other thing that created this, unhappy or negative circumstance. We ourselves are completely pure, completely white, and completely truthful.
강달 가서 지당 계절없이 와이나 논주 제행기 심지당 논주 매바줘야지 심지 용기도 와.
So speaking in very general terms, we can try to understand that there is a mindset that is mistaken and that there is a mindset that counteracts this mistake.
제가 논주 제행기 심들라 마릭바 세미다기도.
So this mistaken mind or mindset, we call it ignorance.
마릭바세나 가르치고래.
So what do we mean by this word, ignorance?
마릭바세나 코랑의 니츠 마토니 로 친지로되니. 지 낙보지라 까오진되니.
So ignorance means a mindset that does not understand the actual mode of abiding of phenomena, does not understand reality as it is. For example, seeing something that is black as white.
디로 친지로 디 리카르카르르세나.
So if we ask, well, what are the different types or the different categories of this mistaken mind?
dom라도 수 잡아이나.
If we make a very brief summary,
친지로 따와지 송용도와.
we are taught that there are 4 mistaken views.
가서 남준도 안지 최상말로 간지 여바이나 강나만다든 진네 템버트데스 진데스.
So what we do all the time is that all the phenomena that we come into contact with, we think that they exist exactly just as they appear to us.
춘나이로 몽부지 여바인자 아니 친지로 따와지데 인지민이 쳔바이나 최켈레만이 깨져요 말이 수수기 대화 송접체 아니 동해 매워줘야지.
If we in our daily lives really try to understand and keep in mind these 4 mistaken views, and this has nothing to do with religion, whether we are a religious or Buddhist person or not, it doesn't matter. Just if we want to find more happiness and get rid of suffering, to understand these 4 mistaken views in our daily lives is very useful.
그래서 진지로 따와지 송도되나 최상진의 나게 심 류가 라야다. 아니 최셰샤 요소 조바데 메다비랑 인지레도. 등고이 니츠려. 소소 통고요래. 이나얀디 딱바진지니. 메다비 랑이라 딱바지. 텔레데니 차당이 로숙침부 쇼지제. 메장위 랑이라 짱마진지. 텔레데니 차당이 로숙침부 쇼지진. rồi thế ní đủ người về răng gì là để vật gì thế là cha tăng lo súc chấm xíu xích chứ lạc bắt được là ta mới về răng gì là đặc thù gì thế用sự做吧chỉ cần chỉ nhận đấy ta mới về răng gì là đặc thù gì đấy gì anh biết đấy chỉ bảo用sự做吧chỉ để nhận đấy đến đây cái long ấy gì đấy你当的好过多嘛就đến đây cái 왕은 전에 동행이 준들이지라 되니 대바지네 되는 가서 잡으셔서 뿡니 레사 아니 배지지 가져다 르기 예시제서 정말로 친지로 따와 일라 인장 Tini ngazo digi pungro gore. Digi tu tak tu pungro gore. Nikap nire chowa zamzi mahimba tu tak tu pungne korde gore. Chezang dizu di sheba ina tini sim zangbo yondende beyaji tabshijik zachimbo kharichiyaji tabshijik chenroya zirwa.
So, when to go more into these 4 mistaken views, first let's understand that all inner phenomena, such as our own mind, and then our bodies, our speech, and so what constitutes a person, and then all objects of knowledge, everything really, everything is impermanent. And this is the truth. This is something that, we all actually know, we can see. Still, we cling at everything as being permanent and solid. And through this clinging as permanent, through clinging to impermanent things as being permanent, we generate a lot of attachment and anger and so on and so forth. Then the second one is to cling as what is impure as being pure. And then because of this mistake, we generate a lot of attachment and anger, aversion, etc., isn't it? And the third one is that we cling to what is a suffering and a source of suffering as being happy or the source of happiness. And because of that, we generate a lot of attachment, anger, and so on and so forth. And the last one, and the worst one, is clinging to what is devoid of self as being endowed with self. And so this mistaken view is like the source of all the fears and the dangers and the problems and the hardships. To cling to things as having a solid entity, a solid self, when actually everything is devoid of a solid self. So when we come to understand this 4 mistaken view, we will not fall so much under the sway of those mistaken views. So when we do not pay attention to this mistaken view, we completely go under the sway of this confusion, and we, by not seeing what is truly suffering and the cause of suffering, we completely entrust ourselves in suffering and its causes, and we feel we put our hopes in those sources of suffering, we completely devote to these sources of suffering, and we think this is our hope and our protection and everything. And we think these 4 mistaken mindsets are actually what will protect us. So because of that, we continuously throw ourselves in all kinds of misery and hardships, not like small hardships in our daily lives, not just that, but continuous problems and suffering are caused because of coming under the sway and putting our hopes in these 4 mistaken views. So when we start to realize and come to understand those 4 mistaken views in ourselves, then we can truly find a method that can effectively help us to find and develop more kindness. Yes.
다 딘지에 따와 친지로 대야게 아니 지 지원도 로이나 티니 쮸바 친지로야 임버와.
So obviously, if we come under the sway of these mistaken mindsets and confused mindsets, then the attitude, behavior, and conduct that will follow this mistaken mindset will also be mistaken.
다 쮸바 친지로 라디 준쟁 가래.
So why do we call such a behavior a mistaken behavior?
당가서 참바다 제벨로 심바 장불 가기에 심바 장불 장불 가기에 라야지로와.
So we all say, everybody appreciates love. I want to be loving and caring and kind and honest. Everybody loves these positive mindsets.
ngazuige simla sim 장부다 장부 자침부 지부 닝지모 거기 왜나? 되는 ngazu디 쮸바디 쭈쭈 당고 그러와.
If we all want to, we appreciate what is kind, what is beautiful, what is nice, what is pleasant, then we have to transform our own behavior.
다 쮸바디 쭈쭈 당에 쮸바디 가래.
So what is the conduct that we should transform into?
네 뭐식으로 가서.
We need to recognize it.
ngazu 장배 연된 상마 nga 장부 중으로 지나. rang la ma do nga ma do yin sam no ko ge ma yin le judo yo ma.
So we feel all the nice things and the kindness and the nice attitudes, I want them for me. I want to have them. Me, me, me. I don't care about others.
nang ji chimsang yin na ji su su yak bo da su su ji bo yong yan de shuk che shu bi shuk chen bo yo ba de zui gi chimsang de ji bo yo ma re.
And even in the context of the family, the more we think of ourselves and we think of our own purpose or my own happiness, my thing, the more we think in this way, the less we'll find happiness in the family.
Tindi gi joba di chinji lo do.
So such a conduct is mistaken.
Chinji lo ya de jumje mang bo do.
So there are many reasons that show why it is mistaken.
아니 쌤데 자침부지 줘요 말해.
So it prevents the mind from opening up and becoming vast.
간이스나랑 지보러 랑스는 지그러.
Because we are only one person.
되니 정보 짜는 말해.
So also it is not truthful.
정보 매마 인자는 정보 짜는 말해.
If it is not truthful, it can never be kind or good.
아니 쌤데 추주 뒤추주 저러지래.
So it becomes like a very narrow-minded, very small mind that is very ready to crumble.
쌤데 뇌바 가르쳐요.
So, and what is the deeper wish of this mindset?
잠불링이 튠지에 창마 소소 일려나 잠불링 신다직 주왕도야 섬나요.
This mindset is such that even if you possessed and became the master of all these things in this planet, then you will start thinking about another planet, another universe that you could control.
롱주 튠지에 창마 저여바이나 대륙 잠불링 튠지에 여바 졸라 차동 레심지네 대륙 와 잔잔 섬는 건.
Even if you had all the possessions and the wealth and everything that you needed, still you will be jealous of your neighbor having also nice things. Only for me and myself.
또 그러다 드디어 직소소를 딱다요나 이나야 민감부지 된다라양 소소 로그로와.
Even if you had all the food and the clothing and the housing that you needed, still for fame and reputation, you'd have to do more things.
가서 빵구를 니유래.
Actually, there are two types of beggars.
빵구 찍람가 되네리 롱 되니지.
One kind of beggar is the one that's roaming the streets, begging like this with his hands.
코랑 빵구 치니 쪼고 차야 돼. 고 레지 되는지 미러와. 소소.
So why this person, for example, became a beggar is because the past karma has ripened like this.
수직이 쳐봐 잡죠 말해. 소소 롱아 예수님 대우 찍래.
No one, made a law that this person has to be a beggar. This is the body. This person, as his compound of body, speech, and mind, has become like this through the past karma.
빵구 찍가래.
But the other type of beggar, how is that? How is
민짠짜 랑암네. 민치도다 빼샤이 치들라 욕부 찍더니지 빵구 신나서 그래.
The other type of beggar is the one craving for fame and money and enslaving himself or herself for the sake of money and fame.
그래서 연나 자야다 오면 참냐 요 말와. 촉시 주네 요 말에.
It doesn't matter how much possessions and fame and things that we have, it is never enough. There is no contentment or satisfaction.
제단 딘리에 심디 디니 고 노르지 심레도 와.
So you can see that such a mindset is mistaken. No.
다디바 지와다네. 제발로네.
So then we need to completely overcome that, completely transform that.
랑라 시럽 싸침보 고친.
By opening up one's own wisdom, so precious.
다리 머리바이지 따와 친질로야지 로그도와.
So we mentioned this mistaken, ignorant view.
디즈디 릭바 이시 시럽 투모 마이야지기. 배주 땅네 통야지체.
We overcome it by seeing the opposite, what we call rigpa, the awareness, the pure wisdom.
가서 디 시럽 싸침보디 카 난가 나진 카세야지리 가서 시럽 미 시럽 세메바 카세야지리.
The human wisdom that we all have, we can open it up completely to its limitless extent. Is it big as the sky?
두가 칼라이나 시럽 두가 죽준 지용리드나 잠불린 코랑 끼지지 또래야 인주서 제도와.
even this kind of intelligence that we have, if we use it in a negative way, we even found a way to create something that can destroy the whole planet in 1 second.
진리 시럽 싸침보디 카체네 랑기 쮸바티 파 카체네 실파 칼로레스.
So this wisdom, we have to completely turn it over, like flip it over in the positive side, and also use in the same way the positive, our conduct, completely transform it in a positive way and in a limitless way.
최쇼 이직 배주 땅어이나 랑 진진 디 돌네 yin 진진 지오레 소냐즈도 왔어.
So to use Buddhist terminology, we say that by abandoning a self-cherishing attitude, we engage in the attitude of cherishing others.
제잔다 시럽 싸침보디 배주 땅네
So by using this very precious wisdom,
디니 동해 방당
we come to understand how to destroy suffering,
개와 줍다는데
how to find happiness.
체메바지.
So, and the methods to find happiness and get rid of suffering are limitless.
리울라이나 타르바다 탐지 준비 공방 세디 남야 아니 동해는 홍야메바 대방 바지 코나 딘리게 아니 지 자신부지기 니주시자유로.
And the result of these very precious and limitless methods are also limitless results, that, namely liberation and the state of omniscience, that are completely with no limit and completely pure in terms of complete happiness and sustained happiness, in such a way that there is no way that at any moment even the slightest suffering can come up. So we can open up to such a precious and wonderful state.
옌세는 타이바지다 랑지나 찌긴비 니추 좀제 망보부터 시 심상부 땅야라 옌라 펜바치야 제발레야라야디 좀제 망부지다 아니 수수기 냥외레바이나 아니 제바디 아니 치메베 제바 정부 슈즈레기로 왔어 아니 진도 제기로 와 수수기 미지 깔리제스디 가래 전당 뜻스디 가래 마소디 깔리제 전당 지야디 대화 조야 치도 계셔와 대화디 아니지 내갑다 탈뚝 랑다 예 연수도 대화 전인디 수리 심정부들이도 와 심정부들이도 와 심자친부들이도 와 디 틴지지 짜친부지 여진들라 대라 맞으니 또그 담년자 틴지기 죽자 치로 렉차 주주랑신 두근회랑신 찍라 맞은 거 코르대와 있나 ngaso zonggyero ngaso lujero ngaso yu phungbido su kejiba jigbare.
So we can use many different types of reasonings to develop a kind heart. For example, by coming to the understanding that we are just one person and other sentient beings are limitless. And so using many different kinds of reasoning, we can generate kindness and altruism in a way that is very natural, not forcing ourselves, but really from having a deep wish to engage in these altruistic activities and altruistic attitude by understanding the reasons why. So all our hard work, all our skill and capacity, what should we use that for? We should use that to achieve happiness, right? Not just temporary happiness, but all the different types of happiness, temporary and ultimate, not just for ourselves, but for all others. So what is the agent, what is the factor that will enable us to find happiness temporarily, ultimately for ourselves and others? This is the development of the kind heart and wisdom. Having more kindness, more open mind, more truthful attitude. And so, as there is the possibility of developing such limitless positive potential in us, still putting that aside and striving only using all our skill and hard work and capacity just for achieving, food and reputation and shelter and fame and money, just indulging or striving to find the tiny pleasures from form, taste, sound, smell, and touch. This is like selling ourselves. This is like cheating ourselves. We might as well just cut our throat right now. It's the same because that's what we're actually doing. So we need to think very carefully. If we do not think properly in our daily lives, then we'll end up in a very tricky situation. We need to use our own wisdom. Because day after day, we are just like a flower getting old very quickly. But we take everything for granted. We think we have so much time. We have the feeling that we will remain for years and years, millions of years. So we have to check, is that mindset, that thought, is that accurate or not? Otherwise, if you just say, oh, we have to be kind, who is there who does not want to be kind? Who is there not wishing for kindness? Just wishing to become kinder or just praying for developing more kindness does not bring about actual results. So when it comes to wishing, we all have that wish to be kinder. We all want a nice name. And we want the most beautiful. What is the most beautiful? Kindness. So in general, we might think, oh, what is beautiful, what is nice is, for example, to have a very nice body and look nice or smell nice or whatever. But actually, this is very temporary. This transforms immediately. The beauty, anything beautiful, the moment it is produced, immediately it is transformed into trash. It is getting damaged. So actually, we try to find beauty in so many mistaken ways. Of course, it's okay to wash and be clean and everything. But look at us, how we try to become more beautiful. So look at what we do. When we get a white hair, we have to put some color on it. We get some wrinkles, we'd have to iron that. If we have to, and then we do all kinds of injection. And we try to pull in some places, try to push in some places, make it flat in some places, make it come out in some other places. We do all kinds of things like that. Oh, it's okay. It's good to do these things. But to think, oh, this is completely the nicest, this is so great, what is that? Oh, so even, the place we stay, we want it to be a huge house, like a huge building. It's okay. It's fine. It's high. It's big. But So what it is really, it's a pile of stones put together, kinds of pieces of wood stacked together, and on top of it we put some paint or drawing.
ngazo tele zigzazila yeyula bete singna zachimbu ani chagri ani chu bangri rangjung mamado.
Much more beautiful than that, around us, we can look around in different landscapes and we can see beautiful green landscapes and prairies, beautiful mountains, beautiful forests, beautiful trees.
Di changmanlo simgi zogdo.
So clinging to what is nice or beautiful, this is completely fabrication of the mind.
Di zachimbu re chewa nangji ngui ni zule teyo marwa.
Because it is not so precious as we think it is, actually.
제자는 ngazo semde churudo.
That is how our minds get confused.
다 ngazo 가르지 고고요 잠불는 밀라.
So what do we need in this world?
약슈대 가래.
What is the best?
ngazo 장보다 장보 자침부 줘야기 심들이도.
It is the mind that is kinder and more open, more vast, and more truthful.
심디 체제 말이 체면 맞으리.
Such a mind has no limit.
심디긴 준당이나 랑진 꿀한 대화지리.
And the particularity, the capacity of this mind is that it is bringing happiness to oneself and all others.
띵가저 르기 줘야다 이체 돼야지 디레도 심들이 자치면 돼.
This mind is really something that we can fully entrust ourselves in. We can fully put our hopes in such a mindset.
텐데지레데
It is like this, but
나가서 니레 좋아하는 가래 삼당리.
what do we think of? How do we feel in our daily lives?
랑 자치주지.
I am the most important.
랑이 준당 가르쳐요 와이나. 나랑이 주고요. 나 참아요. 나 연대요. 나라 벤조요. 나라 명요. 나라 참아요. 진득이도 와. 디 나랑이 준당이 진거로 와.
We feel we are fully capable and we do not need anybody else. We feel this is, I can do anything. I have a name, I have money, I have skill, I can do this.
랑게 밤에 쿠라니 인삼자니 니중아니 랑 송접수 제래.
But from the very moment of a conception in the mother's womb, who has protected us?
랑또그땀 년라 용수 줘봐. 얘는 되는 정도.
All the food that we eat and our reputation and the shelter and everything that we've enjoyed and through which we've survived, all these things came through others.
타나 로사지 랑가 모자 겐게 랑라 튠제 용수 줘봐다. 얘는 되는 정도들이 임바데. 뭐 니주로.
Even the roads, the cars, the teachers, everything that we've enjoyed, all these things come from others.
이나야 랑이 준당이 전에 셈바데 말합사고 하면 돼.
But we think, no, I made everything, I do not owe anything to anybody. I made everything in my life for myself. So look at, are we truthful? Is this mind truthful?
추르다 맞추를 나야 돼. 그 줌제일 때는 제와이나 맞아 가고 차그러. 뭐 니수 켈랭 거래다. 뭐 니수간에 대화다 동행줘야 돼. 뭐 니수간에 들어와이나. 되니 니가 다뚝 상말로라. 아니 지부 상부 차그러 봐. 축복은 내도 차그러.
So you can see that if we use reasoning, then we can truly, we're able to distinguish between confusion and confused mindset and unconfused mindset. And it makes us happy because, this concords with reality. So through using this kind of reasoning, this kind of wisdom, then we can find more happiness, get rid of suffering, not only temporarily, but ultimately. This is the true wealth. This is the true happiness.
같이 임배여와 뒤쪽에 심데 장보다 자치무데 랑진 용도.
The more we have an altruistic attitude, the more we will have kindness and truthfulness in ourselves.
다 딘디지 취직론에 따와 장보다 쥐바 장보 시기도.
So to use Buddhist terminology, we talk about the wholesome view and wholesome conduct.
대니데 가서 깡바니 나진시네 표주단 그래.
So these two, we have to use them like we use two legs to walk.
깡바찌기 가서 땡을 넣두고 말아.
If we have only one leg, it is very difficult to walk.
따와다 쬐발라야 돼야 시샤 찌기 띵라 그러니 냠도 내더래 내당돼야.
And then we can also understand that this view and conduct actually they abide on one single phenomena.
대단 최이 띵이 빙접다 된다 시기도 와.
That is why we say that on the basis of phenomena, there is the conventional truth and the ultimate truth.
고랑기 랑지양 지 저찌기 띵이 고랑이 랑지양 고랑 니루고 고랑 의인이 되라 아니 고랑 따와 동바 라야다 다메바 라야다.
So in terms of the nature of one given phenomenon, when it comes to its nature, its final mode of abiding, we understand it in terms of the view. We say it is empty or it is devoid of self.
강여바 장에 예 차와 제대야 된 딘리기 고랑 랑인 띵네 되네 땡레기 주 아니 찌찌라 땡바 찌찌라 뜨바 찌찌라 체대바지 아니 입 자민나소 입다 카도 자민나소 아니 디게 제부 자민나소 넘버 자민나소 샤데야디 아니 고 쮸베니수카네 차디오라
Correct.
쮸바
And then all the activities, whether positive or negative, their nature has to be understood in terms of dependent origination or interdependence. Dependent origination is to be understood in terms of different phenomena interacting together or depending upon each other, entering into contact, mutually entering into contact with each other.
딘리지 따와 장보다 쮸바 장보디
And so through these different levels of interdependence, the different phenomena have different forms and shapes and colors and bring about different results. So all this has to be understood in the dimension of the conduct.
다 따와 장보다 쮸바 장보디 가서 야지 땅에 데리도와
So what we have to improve is this wholesome view and wholesome conduct.
다티 야지 땅에 소소를 니레 초알라 핀도 가려 그랬을라나
So we might wonder, well, if I improve the view and conduct, what kind of benefit do I get in my daily life from that?
다 따와 장보다 쮸바 장보여나
If we have a wholesome view and wholesome conduct,
아니 소소 지나이 강해지 튀기래
so when we face outer and inner hardships,
가서 류데라 제가 나지 동해랑 신지로와
for example, physically, on the basis of our body, we'll naturally undergo the sufferings of birth, aging, sickness, and death.
아니 지나게 빼때 강해져야 돼 추이냐면 하신지 가서 미세노 용대야지로와
So the outer and inner hardships and problems, they all come in our lives just like the waves on top of the ocean.
딘리 이까블라
So in such a circumstance,
딘이 쌤 장보디 표주 당도 그래 따와 친지 말로 와도 쮸바 친지 말로 와도 여나 쌤디 장보 표주 당야 쌤 장보 표주 당야 쇠바 지야 아니 촉시에 대야 아니 학섬지야 닝제지야 딘리 표주 당연히 가츠기 강에 채와이나 디수 시랍사 친구지기 디수 표주 당 시리 되나라 가츠 강에 채야 디수기 랑기 줄라 똑바 총그래 전주기 쌤제 용그래
so in those circumstances, when we face the hardships that keep coming up in our lives, then we can use them to fuel our kindness in ourselves. We can use those to become more kind, to become more honest, to become more patient, to find more contentment, to fuel our sense of universal responsibility, our compassion. And therefore, using this kind of attitude, the more hardships we face, the more we can tap in this inner wisdom that we have and use these wholesome mindsets in such a way that we can develop them to the extent that we generate bodhicitta.
민 몽부지기 류셈라 아니 강에 메와서 그래
And we can help so many different people, other people, to get rid of their physical and mental sufferings.
아니 끈지 노부지야기 자신직 줍도 그래.
In this way, we become like a universal jewel for everybody.
아니 침상직이 나나 집어요.
In the dimension of the family, we find more happiness.
아니 속바디 나나 집어요.
In the community, we find more happiness.
되니 괜찮복이래.
We are able to carry a lot of responsibility.
된데 인생 성장 되는지 미창마게 아니 이치치그래.
And acting in this way, then we become worthy of the trust of everybody.
라버도 따와줘봐 대 잡사 로바이나 랑게 주마다비 니수이 띵네 되니 짜침보 망보 땅에 열어와.
And so, even if we take this wholesome view and wholesome conduct to a deeper and deeper and deeper level, then through understanding the illusory nature of everything, we can become more and more, stronger in this.
랑라 네 잡고지 나를 용나. 네 나서 독자지기 나게요나.
Even if we fall very ill, critically ill,
심 슝게 말해.
we do not feel discouraged.
심 궁게 말해.
Our mind does not crumble down.
신나제기 말해.
We will not be afraid.
가인스나 코랑기 심이 랑인데 하고라.
Why? Because we understand the nature of our mind.
심 슈미야다 심라 미칠 라로야다 마모즈 북독존인데 심이 랑인데 하마고니지 말이버들이와.
Why? We feel discouraged, or we feel like we lost our direction in life, or we feel all these different ups and downs in our life. It is all these feelings, all this comes through ignorance, not understanding our own minds.
다 디기 독초 친질로이 따와니 되요나 따주니 되요나
Chinchi.
친질로이 친질로 되비
So, but if
친지
we
말로비 따와디 짜치 분들이 도가
no. So you can see how precious the unmistaken view and conducts are. So now, if we put this aside, but we still, go on with our mistaken view and conduct,
다 아니 토알란 렌심
we feel a sense of competitiveness with the people who are
토알
higher than
차도
us.
제야다 냠발란 렌심 제야다 말 툭수 제야
We feel jealous towards those who are higher, competitive towards those who are equal to us. We feel dismissive, disregard. We put down those who are lower than us.
아니 더샤 숙침보
We have a lot of attachment.
아니 셰다 숙침보
We have a lot of aversion.
아니 낙심 느심
We are very greedy. We have ill will.
록다
We have wrong view.
차도
We have jealousy.
랑진지데 덴진 코난지니
We are completely, fully under the sway of the self-cherishing and self-grasping attitude.
되니 강인지 채용나 강인 지로와
When we face
강인
hardships,
치단 찍버려
because we are doomed to face hardships, so we all have to.
강인 치갑라 배주 재단로 가래
So having these two different kinds of attitudes, you can see that facing the same hardships, the way we deal with it will be completely different.
강인데 은진 재단로 가래
The way we even identify the hardship will be different.
시럽다 리더 시럽다 출발이 묘모리
So we will identify with some kind of intelligence. It is some kind of intelligence, but it is distorted. It is a distorted emotion, distorted, afflictive intelligence.
되니 강인 채용도
So when we have problem,
되니 셰당랑이로와
we'll get angry,
되니 루이스 중지 참아 쪽이래 그래
and the four elements in our body will get completely imbalanced.
나기 침장이 부그다 침장이 세바 참아 쪽이래 그래
And the love that we have towards our partner, our wives, our husband, our children will be completely disturbed.
속바다 족보 종무지 아니지 대지 연속으로 쪽이래 그래
And in the wider community, our friends, etc., we will disturb everybody.
되니 남주는 게 맞지 그래
We will show a very negative attitude.
되니 탁주는 게 맞지 그래
We will take the wrong decision.
진짜 이깝라 그 너지로와
So all these are mistakes, right?
코 너드인바 송장 아니 랑기 미세 몽불 라루 랑 랑가 몽불 라루
Because they are mistakes, we will feel lost in our lives.
랑이 족보 야가 참 라루
We will lose our best friends.
데니 랑라 잡 주서 족보 야 쉬서래
So then, who is our best friend? Who is our protector?
타만니다 장라
Alcohol, wine, cigarettes.
데니 장스 타와 도그래
So then we have to go to a club to dance.
데니 디기 가도 문주르 대바 수수 빼택 바 가중반유 바 차비르와
So then at that time, the way we look, well, we do all these kind of things, dancing and stuff.
아니 디 다리 강인디 코 삼노 데라 삼노디 로데라 코레 지요는 지 데스파 엔디스 드니즈르와
So because our mind cannot focus on so many things at one time, so at that time we do not focus so much on the hardship.
아니 갑도 대가랑알라 데니 지 딩자들 지 찹데니즈 요나
So for example, if there's someone on a stage dancing and doing things,
아니 소소로 로추에 나예스네 아니 밭 차고르다 아당당당
we dance so much also as if some electricity has been inputted in our bodies.
아디 집이 쉬우서 저그러
We feel so happy.
응 다디 서와 대가랑알라고 서와 매번 말이야
So this, of course, this feeling of happiness or pleasure is undeniable.
데라 서와 루티지 서와 켄자저요래
It's some kind of weird feeling that is actually cheating us.
고거 아니지 서와 저요래 서와 약보 열에데 이나이디 서와 고거 아니래
It is a feeling, of course, it feels good at that moment, but this feeling actually, what it does is that it is cheating us, deceiving us.
가인선 디심 장보다 장보 자침불라 펜토 말와
Because that is not useful to cultivate more kindness, more open-heartedness, more truthfulness.
제자 아니 미지 찍는 근진체야
So because of that, in our life, we feel a lot of rancor.
데네 카시에다 가르치거나 징도와
Some,
랑가 몽불라루도와
some people feel completely lost and say, oh, what should I do now?
강보 양보였나 펜토 말에 모라 양보였나 펜토 말에 데네 자신 정말 연나 디 시라 펜토고 말다
If you have a nice house or a nice car that feels useless, everything that you enjoy, everything that you have that feels completely useless,
따심 농감다 쉬울래 그래
and then at that time in your mind you have a lot of anxiety,
데네 제가 나지 동에 중지 상마 쪽지로 제가 나지 동에데 조르도
and because your elements in your bodies are imbalanced, then the birth, aging, sickness, and death, they come up more quickly.
제자 디갑라 아니 수수이 제가 체슈 제자 약슈 제자 대도 참말로라 지부 차고 말해 수술라 대화제 두 말해
Even if you have the person or the thing that you love most in the world next to you, this alone will not make you happy.
밀카시 딘지 갑라 아니 수수술 롱랑이도 와
At that time, in such circumstances, some people get really upset with themselves.
아니 동라 니마 통도 면도와
They feel very upset when they see the wrinkles on their face.
아니 지 마게 답시 아무도 제도
So they do all kinds of things to remove the wrinkles.
제장고 랑지 용야 참말로라 수수 빽깔렉하고 쉬우고도 왔으면 부수하고 쉬우지
So what is bound to happen makes their life, they cannot accept it, so it makes their life very unhappy, very difficult.
되니 독슈데 랑시 차오들이
But the worst is selfishness.
말한 대가란 죄야 매 팅도
Thinking, I don't have to change anything.
말한 랑시 팅도
This is my nature, this is how I am.
주바 땅에 매 팅도
I can't change.
가시 죄 랑시는 주바 땅에 매나
So if that was your nature or the way you are,
저랑 개야티 가르슬래
why do you get old? How does
저는
this,
주가 도야 가르슬래
you're changing. Why are you
있어서 고거 대가란 태우기도 와
so right on the spot? You can see that you're deceiving yourself.
이거는 전에 강바 야구 집에 자진 뭐 실리베 시우지 제가 있나 라몬베링로 곱도 잘리고 기니 자기도 와
Even if you build the nicest, most beautiful, best house, at one point or another, it's going to crack and to become like garbage.
딱 나랑시 맞주야 요 말에
Or you think I'm like that? I can't change.
땅에 뒤에 몸부터 넣으셔
I've made so many mistakes for a long time.
당한 주바 때나 nga ge charsung.
If I change now, well, it's too late, I'm too old.
당가 몸부지 지투고면도
I can't do much.
다른 배 줌니 누가 짠짠 chen.
You feel,
수수수수 맞는 게 어디더니.
you feel discouraged, think only of negative things, and then actually you put yourself down.
디 당분이 수수 찍고 섬다니.
This is because from the very beginning, you think only of yourselves.
초와 대두기 니주디 망부 수수 찍고 라마도 섬노 마동. 랑게 하고 마게. 옌게 하고 심디 자친 부조 마신. 장부조 마신. 맞을랑 겐디 친구도 여러 와. 동행 되기면도나 대wan 되기도나 아니 데 겐디 찍라네. 겐디 찍라네. 아니 자와지 제와이나 겐지 케와이나 테라 깔리지고로 와. 주 튜미 차제 주마드미 차제 망보지 줍니 제와이나 아니 딘리 부스도 후차고 말봐.
So there are so many things that we can do in terms of finding happiness and getting rid of suffering. We can transform and become more open-hearted, with a more vast mental attitude, more honesty and truthfulness, and more kindness in our lives. And instead of having this very narrow-minded, very small and tiny mindset that crumbles down and puts ourselves down, when we truly understand the mechanism of happiness and suffering, then we'll feel responsible for our own life, our own happiness, our own suffering in this life. We can do and we should take responsibility for this. And then when we get a sense of being responsible for ourselves and our own happiness, then we want to use our skill, our strengths, our potential, and work hard in this direction, understanding the concordant causes and effect, how they work together to find more happiness and get rid of suffering. So if we try to strive in this way, then our nature is to change. So we will definitely change. A mere survival through food and clothing, etc., comes through the mechanism of cause and effect. In the same way, we can transform the mind too. In 1-2 days, we can transform. If we do not change, if we do not actually change it, well, it will never change on its own, and that's it. So we have to really try to think of how to use our precious innate wisdom.
다 시럽 짜침볼라야 돼야 다 랑지보지 도나치는 당가 시럽 짜침보 당고도 되는 야면은 데블 도나지야 야면은 지 도나지 대점게다 데블 이나다 지 뎁송니 됐던 바체마 띵주 체마 냠뇽 체마기 뎁지요나 대졸라 따와이나 대 갱갱 때마이나 셈주가 되기리 자자자 되기리 대메나 롭든 제니지 가자 인지민이 된 거로 대양 롭든 진일라다 신이 멍부지 여러와 맞을라 잠물리노 시 투면의 신이 빼 멍부지 여야 되리 그래서 빼 메시 짜지 못으려와 이나야다 소소라 카일라에 시야 되라 냠뇽 연주지 그거라 냠뇽 연주지 여나 냠뇽 연주지 따와다 줘봐 냠뇽 연주지 미디게 아니 심진 창마 니갑다 탈도 용수 줘발라 시디 중기 진이 심진 되라 랑기 류다 롱주 개자 심진 되라 당연주지 딘리기 지우탐바 여대그러 딘리랑 아주 쟤니 이지적으로 와 딘리기 양 지우탐바 이 체여바이나 지된 취지 제니 데니지 민담 년다 치들라 데니 주의치 바그니 제니지 여나 데니 칸는 롭서 자침부 제이마이나 아니 랑 지된 취지 제니지나 미팅지 아니 지 미셈라 주바당 투약하고 싶어라 데니 소소 이시지 제바이나 아니 무튜니 이시 제투 말이야 양 람산 주바 로드로와 제장 데리 인디 고 빼데 템보 징하네 아니 최저야 돼 이나 소소 길레말은 되바라와 아나양 다지 가르람도 없다 랑게 강엔다 랑게 지 가르조로다 미셀라 그거 띵가라 제가 도가 민도가 팬도 도가 민도가 추이 랍자티 인생민이 추시 오늘 대바치 이지 제오 말아 티 가를 나야도 티 팽에 류sem나 간제 팽기도 상담 거라 네 제바 있나 아니 소소 지 시에는 대바터야지 종화이나 아니 전부 야구도 와 제자는 지 추이 상담당니 지나 추라도 맞아 쥐 깨셔 봐 쥐야 쥐쥐다야 가래서는 다른 가서지 아니지 휴대에게 로 친질로 해지 따왕행보다 쥐방행보다 쥐야 따와장보다 쥐바장보다 쥐야 따왕행보다 쥐방행보다 쥐송와이나 아니 따와장보다 쥐바장보다 랑신시 용돼야지 수기 용돼야지 텔라 쥐 텔라 이치 제토야지 가서 처음에 띵내리다 이치 도로 디기 타르바다 탐지 전부 줘야 돼요. 수수 철배딩네 이제 제도야지 간도로 와. 대마도 라이라고도 르라도 라면 찌기 라바 잠이 이제 해야 돼. 가서 하고 싶어래. 다른 가서 취재교에서 라고요. 나 장교래. 아니지. 라공교래. 아니 간던 제교래. 아니 처음에 발교래. 아니 말람 제교래. 다 디즈디 당신 독자들의 너희도 너희면도 랑진진 독자들의 너희도 너희면도 대란만에나 최차고 말 똑같이 말이 똑같은 하면 제 말이 다 베피야 최면피야 꼬라피야 꼬라자야 마네장 나장 디주 창망로 소남사고로 봐 디주기 göde zawadi 가래샤 자치 뭐 용당데 딘들라 때네 이치 소남사야시 자진 뭐지 소남사고로마도 쥐 말이야 쥐 레메도 따디는 검제야 검랑나 검지대야 검지 가래된 거래 따디는 말라쇼 제샤
So if you want to implement such a transformation, such a positive change, then you can read books about it, you can try to find texts that are valid, not just any book. So we talk of a valid teacher, valid doctrine, valid experience. So try to base yourself on these kind of texts and then see them as your teacher, for example. And if you try to put them into practice, then it is quite sure that you will, see a transformation, see improvement in your life. Or also you can follow a spiritual guide, a person that will guide you in this transformation. And then, of course, in the world nowadays, there are so many different types of lamas or gurus or spiritual guides, and who can explain the Dharma very well, who can teach very well, who have the knowledge. And they are all very precious, obviously. But to have a very effective guidance in the spiritual path, you need someone who not only has the knowledge and who's not only able to speak about the spiritual path, but someone who has the actual experience for themselves of the spiritual path, who have the experience of this transformation in terms of view and conduct. Then if you find such a person who has such a realization or experience, then this person who is moved by compassion and love towards all sentient beings, then who is moved by the wish to lead all sentient beings to a state of peace and happiness, and who is completely dedicated to giving all his or her body, speech, and mind, and all roots of virtue for the sake of all sentient beings, such a holy being can guide you on the spiritual path. So you can search for such a guide. But make sure that such a person is not moved by the 8 worldly concerns. If such a person has a longing for fame and reputation and money and all kinds of things, and is just merely wearing the mask of the Dharma, using the spiritual words, but is actually just motivated by worldly things such as reputation and fame and so on and so forth. And this person, following such a person as a spiritual guide will not truly help you. It's actually very difficult, quite unlikely that you will be able to make any true and positive transformation in your life. And also, not only that, but if you follow such a person, it will be very difficult to continuously follow him, to sustain the faith towards such a person. You will, at one point, you will realize, and then you will lose faith, and you will not be able to, this cannot be a very long-term relationship or situation. So it is much better to take things slowly and make sure you're very stable. So at first, you absolutely do not have to immediately want to become a Buddhist or want to become a religious practitioner. You do not have to accept the tenets of Buddhism, and you can just check and investigate. What is this advice? Is this useful or not? If I put it into practice, do I need it or not in my life? Does it help me or not? So you can investigate in this way. And so while you do this kind of investigation, you do not need to have you do not need to have faith, you do not need to have trust, you're just checking and investigating. If I do that, if I try to think in this way, follow this advice, is it helpful or beneficial for my body, for my mind? So such an attitude is quite honest, no? It's kind of a practical, truthful kind of attitude. So to come back to the root of the word, talk of a spiritual development, or in Tibetan Dharma or Buddhism is, we use the term chö, which means transformation, actually, to change, to transform. So what do we want to change? Why do we want to change? So we want to change and transform this mistaken view and conduct that we've been describing earlier, and to develop a more wholesome view and conduct by reducing the mistaken and negative view and conduct. It's a kind of an automatic process. If you decrease the negative view and conduct, automatically the positive view and conduct will develop, become stronger and stronger. So this is something that you do not need to take someone's word for it. You can understand it through your own experience, through your own feeling, by investigating and trying things out for yourself. Because if you just try to engage in a spiritual path by merely believing and trusting what someone else says about gods or nagas or spirits and stuff, you cannot prove anything or feel anything for yourself. You just have to take someone's word for granted. So this is very difficult. But here it's not like that. What we're talking about here is something that you can try out for yourself and derive a personal experience of, and then this is something that you can truly trust. So here also let me clarify a little bit about what we call spiritual practice or practicing Buddhism. Many people think practicing Buddhism is offering bottle lamps, offering water bowls, doing prayers, doing rituals, doing circumambulations, reciting mantras, and so on and so forth. But if all these activities do not actually harm or counteract self-grasping and self-cherishing, then they are not truly a Dharma practice. Because these activities alone, if they do not harm self-grasping and self-cherishing, they will not lead to spiritual realizations. You can keep doing that forever. You will never reach realization. So all these things, of course, are very positive. Circumambulation, reciting mantras, making offerings, offering incense, and all these things, etc. All these things are positive and allow one to amass merit and positive potential, which is very good and very precious and something that we need. But it's also very good to try to investigate why doing these things, create merit. How does it work? What is the reason? underlying that. And try to take things further and try to understand why just on their own they are not actual Dharma practice. And then we come to meditation. What does it mean to meditate? Actually, it means to cultivate a habit.
재산 다 따와 정보다 쥐바 정보디 차송한 거서 계시주디
그래서 더 검게
이제 대 차송아 디 검지 자와이나 당가서 검지야는 전부리 도나 사바지 리도아.
So do you understand that this all comes into there has to be understood in terms of this transformation of view and conduct. So now let's talk about meditation. So now meditation has become very trendy nowadays.
다 검라야지 지 자민지 검야지래 다 자만을 검라야지 몸보밍 몸보 남장 몸보 지야지라.
So actually meditation encompasses all kinds of things. So many different types of meditations.
다 검라야지 검지대야지라.
So actually what it means is to cultivate a habit.
당가졸라 남장 몸보 디기 니중안에 대로 따와 친지 말로 왔다. 쥐바 친지 말로 왔디 검지대야디 검미 약슈디 차고르다.
So among all the different types of meditations, the best is to cultivate a habit of the positive view and positive conduct.
지난솔라 약슈, 적슈, 녀슈 아니 빼때 빠바르 체슈 고고여로.
Because all you guys want is the fastest, the best, and the most effective.
티 거기 등나?
So if you want that,
쥐바 친지 말로 봐. 따와 친지 말로 봐. 디기 듀카르시, 젠카르시 디너라 짐죽 제거래다.
so if you want that, then you have to investigate what is the unmistaken view and the unmistaken conduct and how to develop them.
다디 검지된 거 했니?
And then you
그바치 동보 아니 디 양양양 삼바시 삼중 검지. 디니 동보 좋아이 죄지 자기로 와. 디니 갈래 검수나 죄미 자기로 와. 퇴섬 검숨 야마 제발 송야지 여러 와. 딩가서 추킬레나 말레나 디 거기 가서 그거래. 가서 주너래.
So we have to cultivate a habit of this perfect view and conduct, and the process to do that is to first engage in studying or hearing, and then contemplating, and then meditating. And the way to develop that and improve through these different levels is first to generate a wisdom from hearing or studying that is contrived, meaning that we need to put effort in to generate this wisdom, and then slowly we meditate and cultivate that, and then we generate an effortless understanding of what we've understood through hearing, and then we continue to do that, contemplate on it, and slowly we generate the contrived wisdom, then the uncontrived wisdom, and so on and so forth. And in this way, that is what we mean when we talk of indivisibility of hearing, contemplating, and meditating. So this is what it actually means to practice the Dharma, and this is our true wealth, and this is something that we all need and we all want.
예. 검 잡라나 지 셈발흘 점 카가 대와 점도 검 차기면도.
Otherwise, if we think of meditation just as sitting there in one spot quietly and making our mind very calm, that is not true meditation.
그 쭉쭉 대점.
It's just sitting straight in one spot.
디 안고에서 대 두고도. 비우에서 빼때 제가 대가 어르세기 행동 갈라.
The pigeons can do that even even the monkeys, they can sit on the branch for a very long time.
대장가 좀 비우 대단 제조 말했어. 미유 멤버 드리블 멤버들.
So let's try not to be like a monkey, meaning having useless actions which have no benefit, no
가서 검 잡니 검리되지. 셈바 장루. 셈바 자체르. 셈바 장루. 대차 제단 융루 저기도나 되니 검 자야지 드리블 똑발라야 돼 들어와.
So let's try to use a meditation, a familiarization of the mind that allows us to have more and more kindness, more and more wisdom, more and more open-heartedness, more and more truthfulness, to have less and less attachment, less anger, less ignorance. So this is, if we can, go in that direction, that is a true realization.
So, tening tamshi samjagi.
So I will stop my talk
Tening aso
here.
tsamalo misil hamatina la, ane semba zambu cheya da, jemben cheya la, rewa da malam yu.
And so for the rest of our lives, I will share with you my hopes and prayers that we all become kinder and more altruistic.
Tindi ane ji rewa jusa da, malam jusa da, ngone tening aso tsa chimbuji, ane tomba nimba tawzi sanji ngusu jawa toji jawar muji pedo rewa, jenjiya doa, sung toya doa, ane ngaso lega khazoji tsa chimbu yinba yina, lega laya yin nimba di samlo yabu zidang dribu de, dribu khanji yumen de. Mitsi laya de, takba dimbo yu mare, tse meda ware, ane le junre loba mewe nichu ngane re. Tene, da khandar mambu nichu ngane, ane chi jawar muji, da jibu thamba mambu pedo re, lakbado jawa toji shanzane, sungju yangyang, yuya da, yangyang kogabdi zerne, ane ji besan chaya de pekhe chimbure. Ane lakbardo tisang longjin ramandane, ane nga zo shu chaya yorwa, chaya mewa marwa. Ane tizu de, tuyo ne shesha, tuyo dang machi bache, susu simla jar. Yangsi khumri deyande, roshi, inzik mini chohan zinu, lahan zinu rogu mendwa. Zashi, tungshi, jizo ro du necha changma la gom jaya yore. Changma la simba zangbo khandi chigidwa, susu jekche, susu la donan che. Dindi chewa ina, wane zachi muredwa, dindi je, ane ji mizi lama de, wane chola manrowa. Ane yabu zinyo je, rewa ta, manam yu, ane dashi tele.
And so this hope and this prayer that I make here, I don't just make it just like that, because we have right now in this world the best object of prayer and hope, which is so precious, like a second Buddha, His Holiness the Dalai Lama, Vajradhara himself, that we can all see and meet and hear and listen to his teachings and advice. So through his strengths, I'm making this prayer. And so we have to, think back, take a step back and think about our life and our work that we spend all our lives working for which results, for which goals. Try to remember that life is short, life is not stable and very impermanent, and that the law of karma is infallible. And so try to remember that right now in this world, His Holiness the Dalai Lama Vajradhara himself is present here, and also many holy beings, but especially His Holiness Dalai Lama. We can hear and follow his teachings. And so again and again, it's very important to always try as much as we can to listen to his teachings. Nowadays, through the internet and the videos and everything, we have so easy access. So we should not think that we cannot follow, we cannot listen, because it is completely possible and so easily accessible. And so the way we listen to his teachings should not be by just listening to try to gather some kind of information or learn about stuff. We should really try to mix them with our minds, apply them in our mind stream, apply them, his advice in our life. We do not need to physically go to a temple, go to some place, do some kind of a spiritual so-called looking thing. As we eat or drink or go walking around or driving or whatever we do, on the spot we can practice the Dharma, whatever activity we might be doing in whatever context. Nowadays in the society, in the community, however it might be, there is always an opportunity to cultivate kindness and to check oneself, one's own thoughts, one's own attitude, pay more attention to our different attitudes, our mindsets, and to try to generate more kindness and positive attitude in our life. So in this way, I want to share with you and offer my prayers and my hope so that the rest of our lives is not wasted.
엔 저런서 에 땀시체 유명 다 뒤져다야 빼가고 충수 드시체.
And I was very happy that all of you come here tonight for my talk. Thank you very much.
아니지 뒤져 돌아줘야다 양지 마페바들이 충수나 건다.
And if you felt like it was a waste of time or, it was not so helpful, then I want to apologize.
아니 마시는 저거지요. 다시 들래.
And if we don't die, may we meet again very soon.
아이. 오케이.
It's not necessary to offer the katas. Thank you very much, everybody.
Come to Tseringma.